If Allah lifted the curtain from the unseen world for just a single night and allowed you to witness what moves while you sleep, you would never allow your eyes to close again without reciting Ayat-ul-Kursi first. You would see how the soul leaves the body and travels to places the human mind cannot imagine. You would see how the devils wait for a moment of weakness, how they move silently looking for a door to enter, how they whisper fear and nightmares into the hearts of those who sleep unprotected. You would see dangers that no human eye has ever witnessed, and you would realize that one simple verse from the Quran builds a shield so powerful that not a single devil, jinn, magic, evil eye, or unseen harm can cross it. And if you truly knew the protection, the mercy, and the light that surrounds a believer, after reciting Ayat-ul-Kursi, you would hold this verse close to your heart, and you would never spend even one night without it. Tonight, I want to take you into that hidden world and show you why this verse is not only a blessing to recite, but a fortress that guards your soul, your home, and your final breath. A verse where Allah describes Himself, not creation. Most of the Quran talks about our life, about people, prophets, stories, commands, and guidance. But Ayatul-Kursi is something very special. It is not about people at all. It is Allah talking about Himself. When you recite this verse, you are not just reading. You are listening to Allah describe His own power, His knowledge, and His throne. These are not human words. These are the words of the one who created time, created destiny, created every heart that beats. In this ayah, Allah tells us that He is the only one who deserves to be worshipped. Not money, not people, not fame, not desire. Only Him. He reminds us that everything in the heavens and everything on earth belongs to Him. Every galaxy, every soul, every leaf, every bird, every breath, all of it belongs to Allah. Nothing is outside His kingdom. Then Allah tells us that He never gets tired, He never sleeps, He never loses control. People forget, people get lazy, people become weak. But Allah is always awake, always watching, always protecting. Even when the whole world is asleep, Allah never closes His eyes. So when you recite Ayatul-Kursi, you are not just saying words. You are reciting the introduction of the King of Kings, the master of this universe, the one who controls life, death, the skies, the earth, the seen and the unseen. And when a believer speaks these words before sleeping, the soul feels safe, the heart feels calm, and the angels stand guard, because they are the words of Allah Himself. When you sleep, your soul leaves your body. This ayah protects it. Every night when you go to sleep, something happens that most people don't even think about. Your body lies on the bed, but your soul is not fully inside your body anymore. You are alive, but you are not completely present. This is why sleep is called a small death. In this time, you cannot protect yourself. Your eyes are closed, your body is still, and you have no control. You cannot defend yourself, you cannot speak, you cannot move, and you do not know what is happening around you. This is the most unprotected moment of your whole life. But when a believer recites Ayatul-Kursi before sleeping, Allah commands protection for that soul. While you sleep, your soul travels in a world that you cannot see. There are dangers in that world, just like there are dangers in this world. But Ayatul-Kursi becomes a shield. It guards your soul from any harm in the unseen. It keeps the shayateen away. It closes the doors of evil dreams and dark attacks. It keeps your soul safe until the morning. And when Allah writes that it is time for you to wake up, your soul returns back into your body safely, and your eyes open again. There are people in the world who sleep and never wake up. There are people who wake up with fear, nightmares, or terror. And there are people who sleep in peace, protected by the words of Allah. So when a believer reads Ayatul-Kursi before sleeping, they are not just reading a verse, they are handing their soul to Allah for the night and waking up only because He returned it to them. That is how powerful this ayah is. Every devil that hears it is forced to flee. Shaitan has many tricks. He can whisper to the heart. He can make you overthink. He can push you towards sin. He can make you feel weak, angry, depressed or scared. Shaitan can argue with your mind and make wrong things look attractive. He can confuse a person and make them doubt themselves. But there is one thing Shaitan cannot handle. He cannot stay where Ayat-ul-Kursi is being recited. The moment this verse is heard, the shayateen are forced to run away. They do not walk. They do not hide. They flee. They know these words are not human words. These are the words of the one who created them and controls them. A person might struggle with negative thoughts, strange fear, pressure on the chest at night, or scary dreams. Doctors cannot see it. People around cannot see it. But the unseen world sees it very clearly. The recitation of Ayatul-Kursi is like lighting fire in a room full of darkness. The darkness does not slowly fade, it disappears instantly. You do not need to read long chapters, pages, or many du'as. Just one verse. When Ayatul-Kursi is recited with belief, the entire atmosphere changes. The room becomes protected, the home becomes guarded, and the sleeping person becomes safe. No shaitan can sit near a person who sleeps with this ayah. Even a child who cannot defend themselves becomes protected. Even a person who sleeps alone is surrounded by Allah's protection. So a believer should remember, you may feel weak, tired, or scared, but this ayah is stronger than every devil, stronger than every whisper, and stronger than every dark force. That is the power of one verse from Allah. It blocks nightmares, sleep paralysis, and dark attacks. Many people don't understand why nightmares happen. They think it's just imagination, stress, or random dreams. But our Prophet ﷺ explained that some nightmares come from shaitan. He tries to bring fear into the heart, especially at night when a person is helpless. Nightmares, sudden fear, dark dreams, pressure on the chest while sleeping, and sleep paralysis are not just bad sleep. They are spiritual attacks from the unseen world. The soul is not fully inside the body when sleeping, and that makes a person spiritually open and vulnerable. Ayatul-Kursi becomes a shield that closes that door. When you recite this verse before sleeping, the shayateen cannot enter your dreams. They cannot touch your soul. They cannot press your chest. They cannot sit on your body. They cannot scare you. So many people wake up tired, afraid, sweating, breathing heavily, with their heart racing, but they have no idea where that fear came from. This ayah stops it before it even begins. Every word of Ayatul-Kursi is like a sword, cutting the path of every dark creature trying to reach you. It does not allow them to come near you or your bed. Some people see snakes, shadows, demons, falling, choking, drowning, and they think it's just sleep. But the moment this ayah is recited before bed, those dreams disappear, because the source of those dreams is blocked. Allah's protection is not just during the day when you are awake. It is also during the silent hours of the night when you cannot move, speak, or defend yourself. Ayatul-Kursi guards your body, your soul, and even your dreams. You sleep in peace, you wake in peace, and nothing in the unseen world can disturb you. That is why the Prophet ﷺ never slept without it. He knew what it protects us from. Things our eyes cannot see, but Allah sees clearly. Your recitation protects everyone in your home. When a person recites Ayatul-Kursi before sleeping, the protection does not stop with them alone. Allah's mercy is so vast that it spreads to everyone in the same home. If a mother recites it, her children are protected, even if the children are too young to speak. If a father recites it, his entire household becomes guarded. If a child recites it, the parents and siblings share the protection. You may be tired, weak, or afraid, but when you recite Ayatul-Kursi, Allah sends angels to protect every person under that roof. Your family may not know what danger was coming. They may not even realize they were saved. But Allah knows what never reached your home because of your recitation. There are harms we see in life, and there are harms we will never know because Allah stopped them before they touched us. A believer may recite Ayat-ul-Kursi at night, and without knowing, they saved their home from nightmares, whispers of shaitan, evil eye, bad spirits, minana ba'ana, unseen harm, black magic, and any spiritual attack where sometimes a baby sleeps peacefully without crying. Sometimes a child stops having nightmares. Sometimes the house feels calm and full of peace. This is not random. This is the blessing of Allah's words being spoken inside the home. Even if one person in the whole family recites it with belief, the mercy spreads like light spreading from one lamp into every room. You may feel alone, you may feel unseen, but your recitation is protecting the ones you love while they sleep without worry. And on the day of judgment, you may find out how many times Allah saved your home only because you recited a single verse before closing your eyes. That is the power of Ayat-ul-Kursi. One believer recites it and an entire house sleeps in safety. It shields you at the moment of death. There will come a night when you sleep and you will not wake up again. Every soul will taste death, and for many people, death arrives quietly in their sleep. The moment when a person is dying is the most important moment of their entire life. Shaitan waits for that moment. He tries his hardest to take a person's faith. He whispers doubts, fear, confusion, and tries to pull the heart away from Allah. A lifetime of worship can be destroyed in one moment. If a person leaves this world without belief in their heart, but Ayat-ul-Kursi becomes a shield in that moment. The scholars explain that the person who makes this ayah a habit before sleeping, Allah gives them special protection. At the moment of death, when the soul is being taken out of the body, the shayateen cannot come close. They cannot whisper, they cannot confuse, they cannot attack the heart. A believer who sleeps with Ayat-ul-Kursi leaves this world in peace because Allah guards their final breath. Some people die with fear on their face. Some die with pain. Some die screaming. Some die lost, confused, and spiritually destroyed. But the ones protected by Allah leave this world with angels around them, with calmness in their heart, and with their iman safe. There is no moment more dangerous than the moment of death, and there is no protection stronger than the words of Allah. Imagine taking your last breath with the shield of Ayat-ul-Kursi around your soul. Imagine closing your eyes on earth and opening them in the mercy of Allah. This is why the early Muslims used to say, Innal mamu salama anin. Whoever sleeps with Ayat-ul-Kursi dies protected. And there is no gift in this world greater than leaving this world with Allah's protection. The angels replace your fear with sakina. There are nights when a person lies down to sleep and the heart feels heavy. Some nights the mind will not stop thinking. Some nights the world feels dark, lonely, or frightening. Fear has a way of reaching a person when they are alone in the silent hours of the night. But when Ayat-ul-Kursi is recited before sleeping, something beautiful happens in the unseen. Allah sends angels to watch over the believer. These are not ordinary angels. They are angels of peace, mercy, and calmness. They do not let fear rest in the heart. The Quran uses the word sakina, a calmness that comes from Allah Himself. It is not like regular peace. It is a peace that settles deep inside the soul. Your chest becomes light, your mind becomes quiet, and your heart becomes steady. Some people sleep, but they wake up tired and anxious. Other people sleep and they wake up with a smile, even if their life is difficult. The difference is not the bed, not the blanket, not the room. It is the presence of Allah's mercy. Ayat-ul-Kursi invites that mercy into your sleep. When this ayah is recited, the angels fill the room with sakina. The darkness of fear disappears. The mind becomes silent. The heart becomes soft. You might go to bed with sadness, but you wake up with strength. You might go to bed with pain, but you wake up with patience. You might go to bed worried, but you wake up with trust in Allah. This is not magic. This is the blessing of Allah's protection. A person could be sleeping alone, but they are never truly alone because the angels do not leave them until the morning. So Ayat-ul-Kursi is not just protection from the unseen. It is comfort for the heart. It takes away the fear that keeps a person awake and replaces it with a peace that only Allah can give. When a believer sleeps under the protection of this verse, their body rests, their mind rests, and their soul rests. That is sakina. And it comes from one verse, spoken with faith. It destroys harm you don't even know exists. There are dangers in life that you can see, but the most dangerous ones are the ones you cannot see at all. If someone tries to harm you physically, you can defend yourself. If someone insults you, you can answer back. If someone lies to you, you can walk away. But what about the harm that comes from the unseen world? Jealousy from a heart you never knew hated you. The evil eye from someone who smiled at you but felt envy inside. Bad spirits that wander around looking for weak souls. Black magic placed by someone far away without you knowing. Whispers that enter the mind when you are sad or alone. Hidden enemies who do not fight your body but fight your soul. A human being has no power to see these things and no power to stop them alone. But Ayatul-Kursi stops them before they even touch you. This verse is like a fire burning every evil intention heading your way. It destroys what was sent against you, even if you never find out. It protects you from people you trust and people you don't know. It protects you from jinn who search for a weak heart. It protects you from hatred you never saw and from jealousy you never felt. Many people think nothing bad ever came toward them, but the truth is Allah blocked it. He never let it reach you. Some attacks were cancelled before they arrived. Some whispers were shut before they entered your heart. Some nightmares were removed before you slept. Some evil plans were broken before they touched your life. Ayatul-Kursi is not only protection from what harms you, it is protection from what was about to harm you. You may never know how many battles were fought for you in the unseen world. You may never know how many times Allah saved you in silence. You may never know what danger was coming, but one verse closed the door. Ayatul-Kursi fights the fight that you cannot see and wins it before you even wake up. That is Allah's mercy. It contains Allah's greatest name, Ismul A'zam. There are many beautiful names of Allah. Names of mercy, names of power, names of knowledge, names of perfection. Every name of Allah carries light, blessing and protection. But the scholars tell us something amazing. Inside Ayatul-Kursi is Allah's greatest name, the most powerful of all His names. This name is so special that when it is used in dua, the doors of the heavens open. When it is spoken, angels rush to record it. And when a believer calls upon Allah with this name, dua is accepted faster, easier, and with more mercy. Many people beg, cry, and pray for their needs, but they do not know how close Allah is to them. They do not know that the greatest name of their Lord is inside the verse they recite every night. When a believer reads Ayatul-Kursi and then raises their hands in dua, they are not just speaking, their dua is rising with the power of the greatest name of Allah. So a person may ask for healing and Allah sends it. A person may ask for protection and Allah gives it. A person may ask for guidance, a job, a spouse, forgiveness, peace, and their dua becomes stronger than they realize. This is why many righteous Muslims recite Ayatul-Kursi before making dua, because they knew what was hidden inside it. Sometimes you feel like your dua is weak. Sometimes your heart feels tired. Sometimes you feel distant from Allah. But when you recite Ayatul-Kursi, you are praising Allah in the most perfect way. using the greatest description and the greatest name. Even if you don't know which word is that name, even if you don't understand Arabic, even if you only know the verse by memory, the blessing still reaches you. Allah hears every letter you recite. Allah knows every tear in your heart. And Allah knows the moment His greatest name passed through your tongue. So never think your dua is small. Never think your request is impossible. Never think Allah is far. You recited a verse that contains the greatest name of the King of all kings. And when the king hears his servant call, nothing is difficult for him. Houses with this verse shine to the angels. There are houses that look bright on the outside, but inside they feel heavy, dark, and full of stress. And there are houses that look simple and quiet, but inside there is peace, mercy, and light. The difference is not money, decoration, or size. The difference is the Quran. When Ayat-ul-Kursi is recited in a home, something happens that human eyes cannot see. The angels in the heavens recognize that home. It shines to them like a star shines in the night sky. Imagine thousands of homes across the world, but only a few are glowing with the light of Allah's words. Your home can be one of them. When the angels see that light, they come with mercy and protection. They fill the home with peace. They bring blessings that are not seen but are felt. A small house begins to feel big. A stressful home becomes calm. A place of arguments becomes a place of love. A home of sadness becomes a home of hope. Why? Because Allah's words are stronger than any darkness. There are homes where fights never stop. Homes where people hate each other. Homes where children cry and sleep with fear. Homes where people wake up tired and angry every day. But the moment Ayat-ul-Kursi enters that house, the atmosphere changes. The shayateen leave, the angels arrive, and barakah begins to flow. Even if the house is empty, even if you live alone, even if you have nothing but a mattress and a blanket, your home becomes known to the angels in the sky. And when angels recognize a home, they protect it from the unseen, they guard it from evil, and they fill it with sakina. Some blessings you can count like money, but some blessings you feel like peace. That peace comes from houses where Ayatul-Kursi is recited. So never think your house is too small, too simple, or too empty. If Allah's words are inside, angels are inside. Your home becomes a light in this world, even if the whole world around it is dark. It protects your faith while you sleep. When you are awake, you can protect your faith. You can pray, remember Allah, read Quran, control your thoughts, and stay away from sin. But when you sleep, you cannot protect your heart. You cannot speak. You cannot think. You cannot defend your iman. This is when shaitan works the hardest. He knows the believer is weak during sleep. He knows you cannot fight him with your tongue or your mind. So he tries to whisper into the heart, plant doubt, spread fear, or make the heart cold and empty. Some people sleep as believers and wake up feeling distant from Allah. They suddenly feel lazy in prayer. Their iman feels heavy. Their hearts feel dry and they don't know why. But Ayatul-Kursi locks the heart. It keeps iman safe while the body rests. It puts a spiritual seal on the heart. So shaitan cannot enter, cannot whisper, and cannot take away belief. It is like placing your heart in a safe box for the night. You sleep, but your faith stays awake. The words of Allah guard it until morning. A person may go to bed with sadness, with weakness, with spiritual struggle, but they wake up with light in their chest and strength in their iman. Nothing in the dunya can do that. Medicine cannot do it. Wealth cannot do it. Even people who love you cannot protect your soul while you sleep. Only Allah can. Ayatul-Kursi is Allah's protection for your belief. It defends your heart in a time where you have no control. It keeps the loss of faith away. It keeps doubt away. It keeps darkness away. And on the morning after reciting it, you wake up with a heart that still belongs to Allah. That is one of the greatest blessings a human can receive. Every sentence is a door closing against evil. Ayat-ul-Kursi is not just a verse that you read quickly. Every sentence inside it is a shield. Every word is protection. Every part closes the door to something that wants to harm you. When you begin the verse with Allah, there is no God except Him, you close the door of shirk, doubt and fear. You are saying clearly to the unseen world, my trust is only in Allah, not in people, not in jinn, not in magic, not in anything. The door to every false power is shut. When you recite, He is the ever-living, the one who never dies, you close the door to despair. People leave, people change, people disappear, but Allah is always there, always watching, always protecting. The heart becomes calm because its guardian never dies. Then you recite, He never sleeps, nor does He get tired. You close the door to fear at night. Humans sleep, armies sleep, guardians sleep, but Allah never ever sleeps. No enemy can enter, no evil can approach, because the protector is always awake. When you recite, to Him belongs everything in the heavens and the earth, you close the door to worry. The whole universe is His. Nothing can move without His permission. If someone tries to harm you, they cannot. If someone tries to cheat you, they cannot. If someone tries to send evil toward you, it stops unless Allah allows and He protects the believers. Every sentence of this verse closes another door. By the time you finish Ayat-ul-Kursi, the believer is surrounded by walls that no shaitan can climb, no jinn can cross, no evil eye can pass, no magic can break. The protection is not temporary. It stays for the whole night. Many people don't realize that while they are asleep, things from the unseen world try to come near them. But this ayah shuts every path. It leaves only one thing open, the mercy of Allah. So a believer sleeps behind locked doors that were not locked by human hands, but locked by the words of Allah Himself. This is why one recitation is enough, because every sentence is a spiritual gate closing until the believer is surrounded from all sides. No harm can enter and no fear can survive. Protection continues even after you stop reciting. Most people think protection begins when they finish reciting Ayat-ul-Kursi. But with this ayah, protection begins while you read it, and even deeper, sentence by sentence. Every part of this verse is like a door closing against something harmful. When you say, Allah, there is no God except Him, you close the door to every false god, every evil power, every force of darkness. Nothing can rise against a person who stands with the one true God. When you say He owns everything in the heavens and everything on earth, you close the door to fear of people, fear of jinn, fear of enemies. You are in Allah's kingdom and nothing can move without His permission. When you say He never gets tired, He never sleeps, you close the door to worry. The world may sleep, your family may sleep, but Allah never does. The one guarding you never rests, never forgets, never loses control. Every sentence of this verse is like a lock shutting one after another. By the time you finish the ayah, you are surrounded by so many walls of protection that no devil, no magic, no evil eye, no whisper can cross them. You do not see these doors closing. You do not hear the locks, but the unseen world sees it clearly. Shaitan sees it and turns away. Evil sees it and collapses. Darkness sees it and disappears. A believer may feel small and weak, but this verse makes them untouchable. There is something even more beautiful. Most forms of remembrance protect you only as long as you are reciting them. But Ayatul-Kursi is different. Its protection continues after your tongue becomes silent. You might fall asleep, your eyes close, your voice stops, your body rests. But the shield of this verse does not stop. Angels remain near you until the morning. They stand at your side, at your door, and at your bed. You may sleep deeply, you may forget the world, but Allah's protection is still awake. Even when you cannot speak, even when you cannot move, even when you are unconscious. This ayah continues fighting for you. A believer may think, I am weak when I sleep, but Allah says, you are protected even when you are gone from this world. And when you wake up, you wake because Allah returned your soul safely to your body under the guard of His words. No other verse in the Quran has been given this kind of continuous protection. Ayat-ul-Kursi guards you not just while you recite it, but long after you stop. You sleep under its shield and you wake under its mercy. It brings light in a spiritually dark world. The world today is full of noise, confusion, and spiritual darkness. People are surrounded by sin, jealousy, anger, and sadness. Homes are filled with stress, arguments, depression, and pressure. Hearts feel heavy, minds feel tired, souls feel empty. Sometimes you don't see darkness with your eyes, but you feel it inside your chest. Ayatul-Kursi is not only protection from harm, it is a light that pushes darkness away. When this verse is recited in a room, the unseen world changes. Shayateen leave, the angels arrive, and Allah's mercy pours into that place. This light is not like sunlight or a lamp. It is a spiritual light that only the soul can feel. A house may look clean and beautiful from the outside, but without Quran it feels uncomfortable, heavy, strange, or depressing. Then someone recites Ayat-ul-Kursi and suddenly the atmosphere becomes calm. Hearts relax. The air feels peaceful. Even children feel safe and sleep quietly. Many people don't realize why some days feel dark without reason, why there is tension in the home, why there are sudden arguments, why everyone feels irritated, why nothing goes right. The reason is simple. When Allah's words are absent, darkness enters silently. Just like light removes darkness from a room, Ayatul-Kursi removes darkness from the soul. A person might sit alone and recite this ayah, and the entire house becomes a place of sakina. You cannot see the light with your eyes, but your heart feels it. This world is filled with temptations, phones, sins, pressure, and endless distractions. Faith can feel weak, hearts can feel empty. But when Ayatul-Kursi is recited, the heart gets light again. It reminds the soul that Allah is bigger than every problem, stronger than every enemy, closer than every worry. Even if the world outside your home is dark, your home stays bright if the Quran lives inside. So a believer may have a small house, simple furniture, and very little wealth, but when Ayatul-Kursi is recited there, angels fill that space, and Allah places light that no money can buy. The world may become darker, but the person who keeps Ayatul-Kursi close is never left in the dark. If you die after reciting it, you die under protection. There will come a night in every person's life when they lie down to sleep and never wake up again. Most people don't know which night will be their last. They don't know which sleep will become their final sleep. They don't know when the soul will leave the body forever. Some people die in accidents. Some die with pain. Some die in fear. Some die while sinning. But there are people whom Allah honors by letting them leave this world under protection. When a believer recites Ayatul-Kursi before sleeping, they hand their soul to Allah with trust. They close their eyes with the words of Allah guarding their heart, their mind, and their final breath. If that night becomes the night of death, something beautiful happens in the unseen. The angels surround the soul. Shaitan is pushed away. There is no fear, no darkness, no panic. The believer is taken gently with the words of Allah still shining on their heart. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that whoever recites Ayatul-Kursi at night will be protected with Allah's permission. So if a person dies after reciting it, they die with the protection of Allah over them. They die with Iman safe. They die without Shaitan touching their final moment. They die with angels present instead of devils. they die in peace. Imagine meeting Allah while your last action in this world was reciting the greatest verse of the Quran. Imagine your soul leaving your body while your heart is wrapped in Allah's words. Imagine the book of deeds closing with the sound of Ayat-ul-Kursi as your final deed. There is no greater success in this life than leaving this world while protected by the one who created you. If you fall asleep after reciting this verse and it becomes your last sleep, then you did not die in fear, you died under the shield of Allah. And the one who dies under Allah's protection does not lose. They return to the most merciful in the most peaceful way. And now, my dear brothers and sisters, tonight when the world becomes quiet, when the lights turn off, when everyone goes to sleep and your eyes begin to close, do not let your soul sleep unprotected. You don't know what moves in the unseen. You don't know what harm was planning to reach you. You don't know how many things Allah keeps away from you every night. Recite Ayat-ul-Kursi with trust. Let the angels stand guard at your door. Let Allah's mercy settle into your heart. Let peace enter your home. Some people sleep while their hearts are full of fear. Some sleep while their souls are unguarded. Some sleep with nightmares and darkness waiting for them. But the one who sleeps after reciting Ayat-ul-Kursi does not sleep alone. Their room is protected. Their soul is protected. Their iman is protected. Their family is protected. Tonight, whisper this ayah before your eyes close. Not quickly, not as a habit, but as a believer handing their soul to Allah for the night. And if Allah writes for you to wake up tomorrow, you will wake up with a heart that feels lighter and safer. And if Allah writes that your soul does not return, you will leave this world wrapped in His protection. So sleep with trust, sleep with peace, sleep under Allah's words. Because if you truly knew how many dangers Ayatul-Kursi keeps away from you, you would never sleep without it for the rest of your life. May Allah protect your nights, your home, your heart, and the hearts of the ones you love. Ameen.